Then I want you to decide, okay, like working backwards, how many weeks do you want to use to prime your audience? And so when I'm talking about priming, I'm talking about content marketing. I'm talking about building out your email list. I'm talking about just like getting them ready to buy from you. And one way you do that is by your long form content. And so hopefully if you have a business, you have some sort of way to educate wherever a person is on their buyer's journey with you. Is it through a blog? Is it through a podcast? Is it through a YouTube channel?
Welcome to Human First Founders, the podcast for down-to-earth entrepreneurs who care deeply, think differently, and want to build a business that actually feels good to run. I'm your host, Kinsey, founder of Authentic AI, and your go-to gal for real talk about branding, mindset, storytelling, and showing up in a way that feels aligned. Every week, we're diving into honest conversations with creative founders, thoughtful strategy that you can actually use, and the human first side of building your brand in this digital age. Let's get into it. Hey, my human friend, and welcome back to Human First Founders. I'm your host, Kinsey, and today I'm chatting with the awesome Dolly DeLong, a systems educator, photographer, and a total queen of launching with intention. We talk about what it really looks like to build a business sustainably, especially when you're juggling multiple offers, motherhood, and real life outside of work. Dolly shares behind the scenes of growing her second business, what most founders miss when it comes to launching, and super doable steps to help you plan your launch without the overwhelm. I absolutely love this conversation, and I know you will too. So make sure that you leave us 5 stars, give us a follow on your favorite podcast platform, and don't forget to share this episode with another business buddy who could also use to listen to it, because the more we keep sharing and spreading the word, the more we can help each other grow together. All right, let's go ahead and dive in. Hi, Dolly. Thank you so much for coming on the podcast. I'm so excited to have you on the show, lady.
Thank you so much for having me. I am really thrilled to be here.
Yes, and I did already introduce you just a little bit in the intro. I'd love to hear from you. Who are you? What do you do? Who do you serve?
Yeah, so my name is Dolly DeLong, and I wear 2 hats to my business. So I serve in Middle Tennessee. I serve as a fine art family photographer. And then the second side of my business, I am a systems and workflow educator for other creative business owners who want to learn about systems, workflows, SOPs, and how to apply it to the back end of their business. And in the last 2 years, that has grown a lot. And now I also serve as a launch planner and integrator. So I do that all within my systems and workflow education.
Oh, man. I know. I can nerd out about some systems and workflows and the launching too. Oh my gosh, that's so relevant. So I can't wait to geek out with you. But I do like to kick off these conversations by asking just, how did you get started on your journey? What has this journey of entrepreneurship looked like for you?
Oh, man. First of all, I feel maybe people have said this on your podcast, but I feel like I was the accidental entrepreneur. I did not set out to own my own business. So I am what you all would call an elder millennial. So after college, so I'll try to condense this as much as I can. So in 2006, 2007, that's when I graduated from college. And not a lot of people had digital cameras, or they did. They were very wonky looking, but I was gifted like a legit camera by my grandparents for graduation. And ever since then, I've just been taking photos of people, their events, like weddings, engagements, like everything. I just started taking photos of everyone and everything, and slowly started building out a client list, like consistent clients. But it was all for fun. And after college, I went to get my master's of mental health counseling. So I have a background in mental health counseling, and I worked in higher education for about 8 years before going full time into my photography business. And I will say, again, I did not want to start my business full time, but my photography business was starting to surpass my income from higher education. And you all don't be impressed by that, because higher education, you don't get paid that much in higher education. So if you're oohing and ahhing, listening, I'm like, no, don't be impressed by that. People don't get paid that much in higher education. But it was a forced, I don't even know, a pivotal point of deciding, do I want to take this business full time or do I want to go part time? And I wanted to go part time in my business because I had gotten pregnant in 2018, and I went to my boss and I was like, I'm pregnant, but I still want to keep my job. And I loved what I was doing. I was working with international students, and I was helping them making sure all their paperwork was organized and had a workflow and system to it. And I was just serving them, and I loved it. I loved it so much. And plus I loved it because it was consistent. It was a consistent paycheck, and it was safe. And so my husband and I were like, okay, we're going to do this part-time, and then you can still continue to grow your photography business. And then when I told my boss, he was like, yeah, we can work everything out together. And then he sent out a company-wide email or department-wide email that I was leaving in the fall without me knowing. And so that forced me in 2018 to go full-time in my photography business. And in 2018, I birthed two babies, my real baby, my human baby, and then my business. And so I've been a full-time business owner since 2018. And then in 2020, I was forced to pivot a little bit more because of the pandemic, and I wasn't able to offer sessions in person just because of the lockdowns and all that stuff with what was happening where I'm from. So I was like, how can I make money? What am I good at? I've always been really good at organization and systems and workflows without even knowing what systems and workflows were. And so I started my systems and workflow education journey. And that has just grew into launch education, systems education, the Systems and Workflow Magic podcast. So I always think I'm so happy I own my own business now. I don't work for anybody else. I love working for myself. And yeah, that's a little bit about my journey. I did not want to be a full-time business owner, but now here I am. I couldn't imagine working for anybody else.
Wow, I love that story. That's what I love to ask about people's journeys, because they look so different, and then there's always so many similarities and things that we can learn and stuff. But I really think it's so cool when you're forced into change and you have to become this version of yourself where you're it almost helps you grow confidence in that way. Really, oh yeah, I can do this. I guess I can do this. We're doing this thing and stuff. And that's so awesome. So I have two sister brands as well, and it's definitely been some growing pains in a way, figuring out how to navigate both sides. And just for myself mentally, task switching. But what was that like for you, trying to then navigate two businesses? Did you struggle, or was there anything that you found to be helpful?
Oh man, the struggle was it took me a long time to gain momentum for the second side of my business, the education side, because to gain traction and to lay out a good foundation and to generate income, because my bread and butter is family photography. That is where the majority of my income comes from. So for the longest time, building out that second foundation of systems and workflow education, it was a painful process. It wasn't instant gratification. I made a course and then launched it into six figures like everybody else does, apparently, online. And no, my journey has been longer. And finally, about a year and a half I would say definitely 2 years ago, is when I started consistently making income from the education side of my business. And to the point my husband was like, I'm very happy you're making money from your other business, because it was draining for him to see me work for free, essentially. So that was the hard part. That was really hard for him to walk the line of being supportive, because he loves me. He wants to support me. But at the same time, what is real? What is reality? Is this going to happen? So after working through that.
Let's take a quick break.
Do you want to create more Instagram Reels but get stuck on what to post? I hear you. That's why I'm excited to share our new free resource, the Reels Prompt Playbook for ChatGPT. This playbook includes 20 ready-to-use AI prompts for Reels hooks and captions and makes it super easy to create trendy content that grabs attention without spending endless hours scrolling Instagram for inspiration. Whether you want to share behind the scenes, offer quick tips, or tap into the latest trends, the Reels Prompt Playbook has you covered. Download your free Reels Prompt Playbook at DIY.ai/Reels. And the best part, these ChatGPT prompts are designed to work for entrepreneurs in any industry. Plus, you can pair these prompts with any trending audio or any video that you find on your phone. Basically, they're super easy, super quick, and will keep your content super authentic while saving you loads of time and headache. Grab your free playbook now at DIY.ai/Reels and start showing up on Instagram consistently today.
Now I feel, and God's probably laughing at me. He's watched like this other curveball be thrown at you. But for now, I feel like I have a good feel as to like how to run my photography business, which is very service-based. And then my online education, which is like the podcast, launching services, all that. And it really comes down to understanding time management for me because I'm a mom. I have 2 boys. And I'm a wife. I really want to hang out with my husband and have balance. And so for me, it comes down to time management, knowing what my limits are, and also knowing like what I actually need to bring in. Because do I need to bring in 100K months according to every business? Like, again, like we hear these, oh, you can make 100K per month by doing this. And I'm like, I don't need that. I just need this. And so I just know my enough factor, and that's been like a load off of my chest. I'm like, okay, I just need to make this and it'll be okay.
Yes. Oh, thank you for sharing that. I'm so glad I asked about that because it's something that we all need to hear too, is like just reprioritizing, like giving ourselves the permission and also stepping into our boss mode to allow ourselves to make the priority decisions. Like whenever so I've been finding that with Feel Good Social and Authentic AI too. It's like, at least like actually I've been building them for 18 months now, 1.5 years now. And it's been a journey. And I'm finally getting to that point where I can feel myself getting to the point where I can start to maybe find that balance between the two. But like laying the groundwork for Authentic AI, I've definitely had to put Feel Good Social somewhat on the back burner in certain ways as far as build like offers and different things like that. And also the task switching for myself. Like It's not really a balance yet for me, but it's making like priorities, and I call them executive decisions to make myself feel better about it. I'm making the executive decision that like Authentic AI is my priority at this point and blah, blah, blah and stuff. But really just like coming to terms with that, because exactly, man, it's so easy for new entrepreneurs to just hear all the things online from all these people who have been in business for years, and also like how much of that is realistic, honestly. And I think we just see more voices like yours sharing like the realness behind it, and also making it okay. You don't necessarily need to go for the 100K years, and it doesn't happen immediately.
It's true. One thing, and maybe this will help encourage a listener who's listening in. One thing that has helped me is, I know we hear this, track your numbers, track your finances, but it's so true. Once I set up a system for myself in tracking, okay, what am I making month to month for my photography side of my business versus what am I making month to month for the systems and workflow education side of my business? I have now at this point, I have at least 3 solid years of data, and I am able to go back and say, okay, from August to November, I am bringing in bank for the photography side of my business, because that's traditionally when families are wanting their fall family photos and mini shoots and all that stuff. And then there are some months that are slower than others. And so now I look at that data, I'm like, okay, during the year, I'm going to focus my marketing efforts and work efforts for the systems and workflow side on these months. And then I'll switch gears. And then from August to November, I'll be primarily focusing in on family photography. I'm still balancing the two, but I'm going into each year now. I'm like, this is realistically like what I can expect financially. And so I can like just keep my eyes like on in the lane at certain parts of the year and not be distracted with, oh, I need to do this strategy then because I'm not like, I know, okay, I know June and July are going to be slower for me because people don't want to take pictures in 150-degree weather. And like they don't. So that's when I'm usually doing lots of like systems and workflow related things. And again, for listeners, if you're brand new, this is why it's important to track your income data so that in the future, you can make a future forecast. Hey, during this time of year, I'm busier or I need to put forth more marketing efforts in this way. So it all plays together.
Totally. Yeah. I've had to do that for like content creation.
Yeah.
I tend to lean into content marketing and stuff. And I started more in the Instagram lane for my business. And so I have spent a lot of time in the past really focusing on Instagram. And I think that's for a lot of people too. Instagram's a shiny object. People put a lot of importance on it in the online space or social media in general. And lately in the past year, I've been constantly reminding myself, trying to retrain myself to be like, what is the most valuable tasks I can do in my business? What is the most valuable content I can focus on my business? And guess what? It's not Instagram. It's not spending an hour on an Instagram post. Instead, it's spending 2 hours on a podcast episode that then lives on forever and is constantly bringing me more people and stuff. So yeah, I've definitely had to do that. And that was such great advice. I do want to ask you, because you said that you went through this period in your systems side of your business where you're like, not really seeing a lot of return and stuff. And then about 2 years ago, it clicked for you and you actually started making money. Yeah. But like, what were some of those things that like really helped you then to start seeing success on that side?
Yeah. Okay. So definitely for me, it was understanding and admitting, like eating a slice of humble pie and realizing I cannot do everything and be everything to everyone. Like a lot of pride in the fact that this is going to sound weird, but I'm a pretty smart lady. When I learn something, I apply it to my business or I apply it to my life and I'm able to understand concepts like systems and workflows and then able to teach it to others. And I thought, oh, I have to learn everything and it's only going to be me. I have to be the know-it-all, the go-to expert. And it was putting a lot of pressure on me because then I was like putting even more tasks on my plate to learn more things, to teach more systems and workflows. And that's ridiculous. Like I cannot be. So that's when I started. We hear this. There's power in niching down. I niche down. That's what it comes down. I started niching down. I was like, okay, I can't know everything about Dubsado. I can't know everything about Pinterest. I can't know everything about Trello. I have to figure out like what I want to be known for. And I can learn these systems and workflows for fun on the side. But what do I want to be known for? What do I want to help people out? And that's like where the pre-launch strategies, like the launching components started coming out because I knew I was really good at planning. I knew I was really good at creating like a systemized pre-launch plan for people, but I was also doing other things and doing all the things and I just needed to stop. So I started taking away those things. And then when I started seeing that really good ROI was when I started including other people, like collaborations. If I want, let's say, because I'm now known for my Systems and Workflow Magic bundle that I lead once a year. And I wanted to be the know-it-all. Like, you can learn everything from me, but that's stupid and not humble and also like very narcissistic. Like, I'm not God, okay? And so I started inviting actual experts of specific systems to collaborate with me to offer solutions for buyers. And it was 2 years ago, I did that. And I experienced like the biggest launch of my business because other people were involved and we were actually serving like with a purpose. And so I hope that helps. Niching down and collaborating with others and figuring out I don't need to know all. I just need to niche down and teach on one topic.
Yes. Oh, I love both of those things because it makes so much sense. And guys, I totally connected with you through purchasing your magic bundle, systems magic bundle and stuff. So I love it.
Yeah. And plus it helps me not only grow my brand, but collaborating has helped me get to know other people so that I can not only connect with them, but connect my audience with them. Because when you come at it from like a standpoint of wanting to serve your audience, like they will appreciate it more if you are coming, I don't know, if you're like, instead of thinking, oh, how can I keep all my clients for myself? How can I like make it all about me versus how is like, I may not have the solution for you. So here is another solution. And then they still trust you in the latter part, if that makes sense. And I'd rather leave a really good taste in somebody's mouth, a really good impression versus coming across as, oh, she thinks she's a know-it-all. She's not approachable. And I don't know, that she's not really servant-hearted. So that has been really helpful for me.
Totally. And I love how you said that, the taste in someone's mouth too and stuff. Like, how many times I've had this conversation with people, I've had people tell me like, oh, I found you through this, or I found you through that, or this person, whatever. And we remember those connections and those connective pieces. And truly overcoming that competition versus collaboration thing, like as early on as you can in your business, is just so awesome because we can all grow together and benefit together, even on like levels of trust, right? If you recommend someone and they go get a win with your friend's program, then their love and trust of that program goes to your friend and also comes back on you as well. Like it all works together. We're all reflections of each other. So I love that. But okay, I got to talk to you about
very true,
girl, because I know that you love the systems and the launching. Share with us. I know you said that there's some things that people forget when it comes to launching, or what are some of those tips you have for us?
Yeah. So I know you were sharing with me right before we hit record, like a lot of your listeners are like brand new entrepreneurs, or they are like starting to like really lay out that foundation of growing to scale. And so I want to talk about the most unsexy thing ever about launching that nobody wants to talk about, but I will, because I love the back end of launching. I love the systems and workflows of launching, and I love the prepping that goes into launching. And these are things that I really, truly believe business owners don't necessarily want to neglect, but it's just not fun to do. It's not shiny. It's not fun. And you have to have a cadence for it. And so the first thing is utilizing something very simple early on in your launch process by actually sticking with your preferred project management tool. And so why I bring that up is it's important. If you want to launch something, you should take a moment to plan it out instead of going by the whim of your feelings and emotions, which a lot of business owners do. They're like, I just feel like I need to announce this next week. And then I'm like, I don't think it's going to work out for you unless you're like Taylor Swift or Beyonce, and you can just announce something tomorrow and it'll sell out. It won't. And I'm not trying to be like negative Nancy, but people, business owners, we should truly dig into utilizing something free like Asana or Trello or ClickUp or even your Google Drive, and start using that as your home base for consistent project management planning and having a hub for your specific launch instead of having it in 20,000 different tabs. I want you to start off with a hub. So that's one way people like neglect the launch planning process, because their ideas are scattered and it's not in one hub. Yes. Okay, guys, I'm seconding and thirding this because it's just so helpful. Okay, so let's be honest, guys. A lot of people think I'm organized because I like show a lot of this organization stuff and behind the scenes on my Instagram stories, but I'm not naturally organized. This comes through practice. This comes through force of myself, like studying, like making myself do this. But like, it's literally, even if you are, I like to think of myself as ideas all over the place and like I can manage them, but also it's still a buzzing beehive and stuff.
Yeah.
And literally, even if you don't think you're like a calendar or systems person, just like having that visual, like laying out your launch on a calendar or even just like creating a little outline on a Google Doc. And then that frees up so much space in your brain to then do all the other things you need to do too, right? That's the thing that like getting it out of your brain and onto paper, it allows you to forget it for 10 minutes while you go to this other task and then come back to it. And you're like, okay, cool. I was about to forget that, but I'm glad I have that.
Yeah. And like one reason why I encourage business owners to start off with a hub, and it could be as simple as Google Doc, right? But if you want to launch something, then put out the dates, like start with the end in mind. So let's say it's August. Think about Black Friday, like write out the dates and then count backwards from the date and to where you want to start priming your audience. If you're not familiar with priming, then think of it as you're starting to establish a consistent cadence every week with getting your audience, your email list, your followers time to get warmed up to the idea of buying from you, because maybe Black Friday is an awful example because it's oversaturated with everything. But let's say you want to launch something in March, then work backwards from how long you would want to have your pre-launch runway. And that's where like all of these dates and links and plans will live in this hub, and you can use it as your skeleton, as your blueprint. Start with a hub.
Yes. And I love what you just said too about working backwards, because I think that's something that isn't natural as much to people when they're just starting out is, okay, like I want to launch this thing. So let me start with the very first email. And it is so much easier when you start with the end goal and then think, okay, what are the building blocks that I need to get me there, right?
Yeah. And another reason why I bring that up is because what if you want to launch something, but that's not necessarily making money right now, but what are the money makers? What if you are a service provider? You still need to serve your audience, your clients well, so that they can continue to speak really well of you, come back and hire you. So another reason why I want listeners to consider having a good pre-launch plan, mapping it out, is because you're going to have to map out your time. Okay, this week I'm going to dedicate 5 hours to do this, because you can't dedicate 40 hours every week to this launch and then dedicate 40 hours a week to your clients, or 10. That's where burnout comes in, and that's where inconsistency comes in, and that's where you start dropping the ball. And hopefully you won't drop it on the people who are actually paying you. And I've seen that time and time again with clients. Like they drop the ball in with their paid clients because they are so focused on this shiny object.
Yeah. Yep. That makes sense. So what other tips do you have for launching?
Okay. So once you decide on some sort of hub project management tool, then I want you to decide, okay, like working backwards, how many weeks do you want to use to prime your audience? And so when I'm talking about priming, I'm talking about content marketing. I'm talking about building out your email list. I'm talking about just like getting them ready to buy from you. And one way you do that is by your long form content. And so hopefully if you have a business, you have some sort of way to educate wherever a person is on their buyer's journey with you. Is it through a blog? Is it through a podcast? Is it through a YouTube channel? I am a big proponent of having some sort of long form content to work for you year round in an evergreen way, just in case somebody lands on your website randomly or finds you on Google. Whatever service or digital product you offer, they type in those keywords and you populate. And like they are led then to your YouTube channel or to your podcast and to your blog. Does it take time? Yeah.
This takes time. But during your pre-launch period, if you could create a consistent content strategy and in this long form piece of content every week is like answering some sort of objection that your potential client would have, like about purchasing whatever, or it could be a case study. It could be like a list but either way, just creating consistent content leading up to your launch, because again, that starts planting the seeds of, oh, like, I think she has this solution that I really want for my business. And then they start learning different facets of it. And I love using pre-launch content to literally answer all the objections my clients would have, my buyers would have before I open the cart open. Because during the cart open week, I don't need to answer questions. I just want to sell the whole week. That's all I want to do. I don't want to sell leading up. I want to answer questions, see if this is a good fit, share testimonials, showcase case studies, like talk about all the different facets of my products or my services, and then get people really amped up and ready to buy. And I've done this before to the point somebody DM'd me on, it was Instagram at the time, and they're like, okay, I'm just ready to buy whatever you're going to sell. I'm ready to buy. And it was like, it works. The pre-launch content does work. And it was so funny. I took a screenshot and I was like, can I share this? And she's, I don't care. Yes, just give me the check.
Give it to me.
It was so funny. And you will have those people that will follow you very meticulously. So you're super fans, but then people who find you randomly, they can binge this content and be warmed up. But either way, you need to create content that will warm people up to want to buy from you.
Yes, I cannot second this enough, guys, especially with the authentic AI stuff I've been creating lately. The Reels, our recent Reels club that I launched, that was like a huge lead up and stuff. And literally, it was just so fun. I had the wait list is really helpful too for having that call to action there during your pre-launch content and stuff. And yeah, I've felt that where I'm like, okay, it's time. It's so funny that we're talking about launching, because literally I'm launching our newest course next week, the brand blueprint one. And it was one of those things where I was originally actually planning to launch it, but then we unfortunately had to say goodbye to one of our dogs.
Oh my gosh, I'm so sorry.
Thank you.
That's really hard.
It was hard. And I was like, you know what? I got to push this launch back.
Yeah.
It's just give yourself the space. But I'm feeling that crunch right now, because I'm like, okay, wait, my audience is ready. I need to get this out. But now I'm like, oh my gosh, it almost feels like it's this balloon that's ready to explode with excitement, hopefully.
Yeah.
But I'm like, okay.
With glitter.
Yes. Glitter. Yeah. Glitter explosion. But anyway, oh my gosh, yes. The pre-launch is awesome. Okay. What's next, Taurus?
What? So another thing that a lot of business owners neglect is growing out their email list, first of all, year round. My argument is I will die on a hill. This is a really weird hill to die on, but I'm going to die on it. It's important to have an email list. It's important. I know. I don't care what type of business owner you are. If you do get a lot of referrals, that's great. If you don't need a huge list, that's okay. But I really believe it's so essential to have a presence through your email list, because those you can directly talk to everyone on your list versus I maybe talk to 1% to 2% of my Instagram list. I know that because I see the metrics. I'm like, this sucks. They're not going to see anything. And so I'm just like, that's okay. I'll just post something to Instagram, but I'm really pouring my heart out and through my email list and building that community there. And it's slow and steady because it's all organic. But I do want to encourage listeners, if you are wanting to launch into something, be intentional with your list growth strategies year round. And then obviously infuse a list growth strategy during your pre-launch content marketing plan. Your content, I had mentioned earlier, should serve in answering objections, but I'm going to might complicate it even more for you. It should also be evergreen content that answers a specific question that anybody who types that into Google, they'll find it whatever year it is, whatever time of year it is, they'll land on that's always the hope and the wish. And then also in this evergreen content, let's say it's a blog, have a call to action for how they can get on your mailing list. Obviously, don't make it like so vanilla. Oh, join my email list. Nobody's going to join it. Anyways, but make it like, what would they want to, why would they want to jump on your email list for free? So that's where a lead magnet comes in. So how can you create 1 or 2 lead magnets that are the logical next step to your product that you are wanting to sell or your service that you're wanting to sell? And we overcomplicate this as business owners. So this is why it's really important to be growing out your email list year round, but especially to have a list building strategy during your pre-launch period. And because that way you're growing more awareness about what's happening, what's coming.
Yeah, totally. The email list itself, for sure. I the same with like your podcast or the vanity metrics on social media are not equivalent to the metrics on your podcast or your email list, right? I always like to think about it. You are just like on Instagram putting something into the wilderness, but like in your email list and like a podcast, you are in people's earbuds or you're landing in people's inboxes. And one email list subscriber is worth so much more than even 500 Instagram followers.
That's so
because
true.
someone is opted into your business and is interested in what you have to say. And literally, like, you can reach them directly without hoping that they see your post. So I love that. Wait, tell me what you think about this, because I feel like there's been this huge shift with 2020 and like onward, where all of a sudden there's this huge influx of people starting their own businesses, and the online business space is just people are becoming more aware of the strategies and stuff. And I feel like it is sometimes harder to create a freebie that people actually want. And that's like the biggest thing for me is I always really try to put myself in the shoes of my ideal customer for whatever freebie I'm creating and the end offer, and just be like, what would legit make me go, yes? And sometimes it's hard. So I really pay attention to what I'm actually signing up for.
Yeah.
I definitely get caught by things. But then some things too, I'm like, some freebies, I'm like, that sounds boring. And that's just like another PDF that leading to nowhere.
Yeah. I'm still like learning it, because it's like, you're right. It's changed drastically since even 2020, because a PDF would have been an easy. Sometimes PDFs work. In 2020, they definitely worked, but now it's harder to catch the attention of your ideal client. And I've learned to look at, first of all, I look at my ideal client. I have 2 ideal clients because I have 2 sides of my business. One ideal client is a mom for the family photography side. And my second ideal client is a business owner who needs help with launching. They're creative minded. They need hand-holding, and they need help with they don't know that they need help with all the puzzle pieces. They just think, I just need help to launch something and to stay consistent. And so I look at their learning styles. I'll just use my second client as an example. I look at their learning styles. Are they actually sitting down and reading the instructions? Probably not. Or are they learning on the go? They're watching a YouTube video, or they might be listening to a podcast and like doing 2,000 other things, but they're listening to a podcast. And so a lot of my lead magnets lately have been audio versions of quick wins for them. Does that make sense?
Yes, I love thinking about it in that way too. And then also too, thinking about how are people consuming my content. If they're listening to a podcast, they're probably multitasking, but you have like their attention for a longer period of time. If it's a PDF, oh man, I love my clients. I'm not going to call them out by name, but like I have clients who just like love to create PDF freebies that are just like an entire page full of words.
Yeah,
like
nobody's
all the same paragraph.
Nobody's reading it. Except for maybe some personalities will. My husband will. He'll read instructions and he'll follow instructions. Meanwhile, me, I'm like, oh, I have to read this. I can't. This is persecution. Of course, I'm dramatic about everything, but I'm like, I have to look at my ideal client, see how they learn. What is their learning style? You're going to have all types of learners, but what is your majority learner? What is their personality? Is it video? Then do a video. Or is it audio? Then do an audio. And then think of creative, because you can do so many things with lead magnets now. You can present it in video form. You can present it in audio form. You still do the PDF, but you can do fun things with the PDF. Templates. There are so many fun things you can do with lead magnets now.
Oh my gosh, yes, totally. I can't believe that we've already been talking for this long, girl. I feel like I could talk to you forever, but man, we might just have to have you back. But I also know you have to have some amazing freebies for us to share and everything. So can you tell us where we can find all your cool resources?
Yeah, I'll send you the link for this. And of course, I'm going to butcher the name. I'm like, I should have looked up the name. I literally just created this 2 weeks ago because I was thinking like, what does my clients, like my ideal clients, need for their launch? And it's a checklist of all the emails they need for their launch. So I have that as a freebie. And it's literally, I've listed out all of the emails one would need in order to have a very clear launch runway, like for the emails. Because there's your weekly emails, and then there's the freebie sequence emails, and then there's the waitlist emails, and then there's the consumption emails. And so a lot of business owners are like, oh, I just thought I had to like make one, hey, announcement email, and then that's it. No, there's so many different segments to consider. And so, yeah, I have that as a free download, and I'll send you the link to that.
Okay, I will add that to the show notes, and I'm going to also go download it after we hop off because I need that right now. So perfect. And can you share with everyone your website and socials so they can find you there too?
Yeah, definitely. So you can find me at systemsandworkflowmagic.com. That is my launch planning services website. And then on Instagram at Dolly DeLong Education. And then if you want to find my podcast, it's the Systems and Workflow Magic podcast. And your episode is supposed to air pretty soon in September. So go and listen. So yeah.
Yay.
And feel good. Yeah. Yeah.
Feel good. Oh my gosh. Thank you so much for coming on the show, Dolly. I've loved our conversation.
No, thank you so much for having me.
How wonderful was Dolly, you guys? I truly enjoy this woman. She just has the sweetest heart. And seriously, she is so knowledgeable when it comes to growing your business with a heart-forward perspective and strategy. So make sure that you connect with her. And hey, while you're at it, why not give me a follow over on Instagram? I am at Authentic AI for Entrepreneurs. Send me a message. Let me know what you thought about this episode and if you loved it as much as I did. And I can't wait to continue connecting with you over there. All right. I hope you have a wonderful rest of your week, and I'll catch you next time I catch you. Thanks so much for tuning into Human First Founders, my friend. If you loved this episode, the best way to support the show is to follow along, leave a quick review, and share it with a friend who also gets it. You can always connect with me and explore more at DIYwith.ai, or come say hey on Instagram at Authentic AI for Entrepreneurs. Keep building boldly, stay human, and I'll catch you in the next one.